And from the Home Magistrate Court, we're back in Accra at the Kaneshie District Court, where in a few minutes we're told persons who have been accused of being involved in plans to destabilize the country will soon appear at this court. Their lawyers are seeking to get them released. We'll bring you details of that story. And later, we'll take you to the Accra High Court, where some head teachers have also dragged the Ghana Education Service to court. So it's indeed a day of courts for me here from the Kaneshie District Court. But for now, let's start with the story of the 10 persons accused of plotting to destabilize Ghana. So that's Mr. Mark Palm over there. He came with, I don't know what to call this, special security of some sort, just arriving at the court. Was not part of the rest of the team that came in. The others had come in earlier in the day. So in your shots over there is one of the main suspects of this destabilization plot, Dr. Mark Palm, just arriving at the court premises in his blue shirt today. He joins the others who were brought into the court earlier in the day, waving to his family members who are currently assembled here. So this is the latest to this story. They were brought in earlier today, together with others, on matters to do with plans to destabilize the country. So that said, after close to 3 hours of waiting, the suspects have come out of the courtroom. The 10 suspects who are currently on trial for their alleged involvement in plans to destabilize the country. From what we are picking, the court has rejected plans by their lawyers to get them freed, and the court has remanded them back. This is the Citi Newsroom. We're coming to you live from the Kaneshie District Court. So we have here ACP Agojo, we have Dr. Mark Palm, and 8 others who are involved in this plan to destabilize the country. They're all currently on trial. We know that the judge has rejected plans by their lawyers to get them freed, and they have been remanded back into police custody and for the military back into military custody. So you're watching the Citi Newsroom. We're coming to you from the Kaneshie District Court, where 10 persons have been brought here on the matter to do with plans by them to destabilize the country. We have here in the court the Dr. Mark Palm, as well as ACP Agojo, and some military personnel, as well as civilians, all being tried for the alleged involvement in plans to destabilize the country. As we go along, we'll bring you details of what transpired in the court. But for now, let's pick the thoughts of the lawyer for these suspects.
When you take somebody for an offense which is indictable, the law says that you bring the bill of indictment. The bill of indictment is a written deposition. The witnesses, the statement they've written, what you have, you put it before the court. For the district court or the magistrate to look whether they have a question to answer or not. If they have no question to answer, she'll release them. If they have a question to answer, you take them to the High Court. That is what they cannot do for 17 months. The government statement says they gathered intelligence and evidence for 15 months. We've been in court for 2 months. 17 months. And who has all the state powers? Who has resources? You see, it's becoming a mantra, and we must move from there. And I'm urging the court and the judges to stamp their feet that every time prosecutors state they come, investigation is going on, and they punish the accused. What becomes when the accused is discharged, is acquitted and discharged? What have you done to him? You've kept him behind bars. He won't enjoy his freedom. Then you come. It must stop. And I've been telling you every day that if we allow the police and others to do their work without the politicians, those invisible hands who thinks we do not know them, we know them.
Very well.
We know them.
Very well, we know them.
The time of reckoning will come. They should allow the police. Let them do the investigation. If they don't have the fact, they don't have evidence, let them come and say so. But not every time, because you think that there is pressure on you, public pressure, you keep the people, there's investigation. Then you want to manipulate the system. Time will catch up.
And obviously a day in court today, and we still stay with the matter to do with some 10 people being tried for the alleged involvement in plans to destabilize the country. And my court colleague, or my court correspondent, Fred Jabano, sat through proceedings. He'll tell us exactly what happened. Like I said before, we are told that the judge refused to allow them to walk for now and has remanded them in custody. So Fred sat through the court proceedings. He'll give us details of that. Fred, so what were they seeking to do today?
Yes, so the major reason for coming today, apart from the normal remand and investigations, was to consolidate the cases in this matter. You would recall that there are two different cases, one having to do with 9 people, including Frederick McPalm, some military personnel, and 2 other civilians. Then there's another case which has to do with ACP Agojo. These 2 cases are all cases to deal with the alleged plot to destabilize the country. So today what the prosecution sought to do was to bring these cases together and make it one, so that the next time, instead of the 2 cases being differently called, they'll be called as one, and all the suspects will be called under one charge sheet. So that's what they sought to do. So before they could do that, they needed to, one, withdraw the old charge sheet for both cases. So they did withdraw both charge sheets, the old one for both cases, to be able to come up with a new one which they filed yesterday. After they withdrew the old charge sheet, what happens is that the suspects or accused persons are discharged before the new charge sheet is brought, and they are recalled, and then they are charged.
But in this case,
as soon as the discharge took place, Martin Pebu, the lawyer for ACP Agojo, raised an issue. He said that once his client has been discharged, the magistrate should allow his client to walk and go home free, because he didn't believe that the law allows for substitution right in court, especially when it's a criminal matter. The state prosecution led by Sylvester Asare did not agree with him. He says by practice and convention, it was only normal that substitution of charges or charge sheets takes place. So once we want to substitute, we just discharge the people, withdraw the first one, discharge, and read the second one there and there. You don't need to go through the whole process of letting the people go, arresting and bringing them back. After the argument, it took a while. After the argument, the judge was of the belief that conventions and procedure has always shown that substitutions could be done there and then. So she dismissed the oral application by Martin Pebu, thereby allowing for the charge sheet to be substituted and the case to be consolidated. So as we speak now, the case has been consolidated. A new charge sheet has been brought with the same old facts.
Okay.
Same old facts, same old charges of felony, treason felony, and abetment to commit crime, namely treason felony. These are still the 2 charges. The accused persons, 10 accused people or persons are being taken through.
When are we due back again?
We are due back on the 4th of December, where we are hoping that probably by the time the bill of indictment would have been ready for committal processes to begin.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fred Jabano. He's our court correspondent, filling us in on what happened in court today. Now, earlier you saw the lawyer for some of these persons accused of treason felony speaking to us there. This is the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. Stay with us. We'll bring you more.